And now we're live.
Awesome.
Easy peasy. Goes a lot smoother than it did before. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
No, I appreciate it, man. I've made a lot of moves, a lot of upgrades, a lot of changes. So it's really cool to have you back because I'm so excited to kind of just see what's been going on in the last year, stuff like that. Um, by the way, shout out everybody that's already in the chat. I see you guys starting to send messages. Appreciate y'all for being here and everybody that comes later on. We'll try to catch them as well.
Sure.
But yeah, this is if anybody doesn't know already, because a lot of people have seen what's it called? The podcast last year. But
Yep.
you know, the OGs when it was just audio only.
Yep.
And he was here with me before. And now I get to actually see you when I talk to you, which is super nice.
Yeah.
It's a whole different vibe. It's different. Because
Yeah.
then
For
I
sure.
could act a fool and you didn't know it. Like
Right. No, it's definitely better. Face to face is good.
I could be like,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Hey guys, appreciate everybody that's coming through. Just make sure you hit the like button, and I literally will have a link for you in a second. Actually, I'm probably going to make Jess do it when she's done putting stuff in the oven so that we can get people over to your page if they haven't seen you yet. But yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, this is VERSVS. He is an amazing artist. He mainly, you see it, and here's the thing, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Mainly, you do rap. You don't do anything else, do you? Like you don't do polka or yodeling or anything?
No, I rap. Obviously try to be a little versatile and like sing a little more in the hook and a bit of melodies, but I'd say I mainly rap.
Right.
Mhm.
And the thing is of course, if anybody doesn't know, and I'm not going to call it your shtick because it's not a shtick, it's actually ridiculous amounts of talent. You actually rap in like 85 different languages, I think. I think it's like 86.
No, no, I'm having fun with that. Yeah, I know 4 languages fluently. So I started incorporating that in my rap, and then took it a little further. Did one of my last remix in 6 languages, and obviously, it's something that people like, especially on platforms like TikTok and things like that. It's obviously a cool concept and something that can help me stand out a little. I don't do it in the majority of my songs, not at all, but it's something I like to have fun with.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you've got your audience is all across the world.
Mm.
So you have huge followings in other countries. Not just I'm in the United States. I think are you in Canada?
I'm in Canada. Yeah, Calgary,
Okay.
Canada.
I was just making sure because you never know, I might be wrong. But
Yeah.
considering that you like have lived all over the world and like you travel all over the world, I mean, you just never know where you're going to end up. Me, I'm just sitting here in Texas, so
Yeah.
I'll
Fair
go to the
enough.
gas station and come back. That's about it.
Fair enough.
But no, I mean, your audience is huge, and I can't imagine what it would be like to be located in like one continent and then have them. I'm not saying the majority, but a large portion of fans that are in across the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that you never get used to, or at least I don't get used to, is seeing the stats and how far the music travels. And like, I have fun looking at the top 5 countries that listen to me, the top 5 cities. All that stuff is just still kind of mind-boggling to me. But yeah, I do have a vision of eventually in the future trying to go perform live in some of these countries. Right now, if I remember correctly, the main audiences I have are United States, Italy, Canada, United Kingdom, and then there's some European countries, Germany, whatever. But that's usually what the top 5 goes like. But we pretty much have listeners in every single country that has Spotify as a platform, so that's always crazy to see.
No, and
Yeah.
that's cool because I mean, the thing is that everybody's kind of got their little. Okay, so that sounded rude. Like you get their little thing, What I'm saying is more along the lines of everyone has like the way that they approach their songs, the way that
Yeah.
they sound, whether they tend to lean into where their pockets at, like where they tend to lean in, whether it's faster, whether it's more like melodic, whether it's like pure lyricism, whether they have a good mashup. Because, you know, as much as we love all the artists that we do, listen to, you
Yes.
go to different ones for different things.
Yeah.
And the thing is that yours, they hit like all, I don't want to say all over the place, but like the lyricism's on point. And
Thank you.
then I, I don't have a problem keeping up with people most of the time. I usually catch a lot of stuff. With
Yeah.
you, I actually have to listen twice, which is
Right.
coming from me personally. I'm aiming that as a compliment.
Okay. I
Like,
appreciate that.
because I mean, usually, oh well, you kind of see where it's going, and you're like, well, I kind of figured that was coming. But with a
Right.
lot of your lyrics, I don't necessarily. I'm like, oh well, shit, you went there, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of a surprise, but in a good way. I don't know how else to put that. I can't
Yeah.
articulate it properly, y'all. Y'all know this by now.
No, I definitely take that as a compliment, because I think one of the thing lyricists, or who wants to be a lyricist, wants to do is be unpredictable, right? So you might, it might be easier to stick with one rhyme scheme, but then you want to switch it up and just surprise the listener. So that's something I always admired in the rappers I listen to. And then yeah, I definitely take that as a compliment, because I am trying to be, especially in the new songs, very bar heavy, if that makes sense. So a lot of wordplay and a lot of things like that. It's designed so that you cannot catch everything on the first listen. If you do, then, well, I mean, I'm sure some people do. It's a rare case, but I'm sure some people are very used to that type of music. And if you're looking for it, you can do it. But usually, it does take a few listens to get the wordplay and really understand the lines.
Well, it's a very complicated balance to its replay value, right? You
Yeah,
want people to be you want people to have to decipher it. In other words, they have to listen again. So you get, you want them to continue to listen to it more than once.
yeah,
You want it to be where they want to learn something new. They want to hear something new every time they listen, or just enjoy it for what it is. However, you can't keep it so complicated and vague that people are like,
correct.
eh,
Yeah,
like,
they fall off. Yeah, they don't want to listen anymore.
no, exactly. Or so lame that they're like, yeah, well, I kind of figured that was coming. Like, I
Yeah,
don't mind catching, like, knowing, oh, I know what he's going to say. And I like it when it doesn't happen,
yeah,
but eh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am in no way, shape, or form a lyricist or a writer of any sort. However, as a listener, I want it to be something different. Now, once I hear the song and I get used to it, I want to know it and be able to repeat it again
yeah,
and be able to, like, kind of in my head at least sing along with it.
yeah.
Because, I'm an amazing brain rapper, like here.
Yeah.
But for here, mm-mm.
Yeah, no, fair enough. No, it is definitely a balance and a sort of challenge. I do try to nowadays in my songs have every element. So I know the song needs to be somewhat catchy, even if it's lyrical. So the hook will be more melodic and a little more simple, and then I'll decide what parts I really want to go crazy on, and those are the parts that people usually need to rewind to fully understand. But yeah, I mean that's what my favorite feeling listening to rap is when I've listened to a song for 6 years and now catch a bar that I didn't necessarily catch for some reason the other 300 times I listened to the song. So that is my favorite feeling when I listen to music. So I'm hoping to some degree to give that to my listeners.
No, I completely understand. I mean, I think in the what did I put on the story? I put 4x4, I believe. And it
Yeah,
was funny because I'm like, ooh, is he saying it in another language? It means 4x4.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
that's awesome. Look at me. I caught that. I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
was it like quattro y quattro or something like that? I
yeah.
was like, wait a minute.
Cuatro por cuatro. Yeah, that was in Spanish. That was at the end of the verse.
I was like, I got it. I can speak other
Yeah,
languages.
yeah,
Not at all. But no, it's unique, and that's the thing is that I love talking to people, especially when I get an opportunity to really kind of dive into it just a little bit, is to kind of pick their brains on kind of where when you're going through the process and you're writing, how do you know like when's the right time to pull back? Like, okay, so you're going in and you're writing your lyrics and you're like, man, that's awesome. That bar was fire. This is great. Do you ever stop and go, eh, I need to dial it back a little bit?
no, like how I approach that is if I know I'm doing a melodic track or something like that, I will purposely from the beginning not go too crazy with the bars. But if I am in my comfort zone rapping, it's a lyrical track. I I'm fully aware when I write a bar, I'm like 90% of people will not catch this. Uh, but that's okay because it will give those 10% an amazing feeling to catch it when they
Mhm.
do catch it. So, but yeah, I have friends and like my manager and people tell me all the time, like, people won't get this. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But for those who will get it, it'll be cool. And that's it. And those who want to dive in and go on, genius.com and study the lyrics, they can do that. Or if I want to, go live and explain a few lines here and there, I can do that too. But I usually don't hold back or have any rules like that when I'm writing a song.
No, that makes sense because I know that I mean, there's a point where you're obviously I do this all the time where I'm like, okay, well, I see that there's different approaches to things. And so I try to be like, and there's no wrong answer. There's never a wrong answer. And I think that sometimes I trip people up and they think that like I'm looking for an answer and I'm really not. It's
Yeah,
literally, it just depends on your process and what you do. And it's
yeah,
unique to everybody because some people might go full in on lyrical, but they want to
mhm,
make it as catchy as possible with as few missed bars as possible, right? It's
yeah,
the variations are endless.
yeah,
But usually people either they start and they're like, "Okay, it is what it is, all in, it went there, so let's keep it there," right? And they
yeah,
let it lie, which it sounds like you're more inclined to do. And then
yeah,
there's
yeah.
people who will back off and rewrite because they're like, "Okay, well, that's a bit much."
Yeah, no, I don't rewrite or anything like that. I'll decide right away once I have the beat what kind of song I want it to be, and the only time I'll maybe hold back a little is if this is a pop song or it has a feature that is a singer, and I'm not um, creating the song for the hip hop heads or the lyrical guys, and in that case, I'll just know what to write. And um, but yeah, when I'm rapping again, when I'm in my comfort zone, I really don't. Pay attention to who's going to get this, who's going to get that. Honestly, it's more of a feeling, as you said, when I write something that I like, that I think is a great wordplay, it gives me the satisfaction I need. I'm not thinking, oh, are they going to get it? I'm just happy that I wrote it, and that's
Right.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Which I get it. Like I said, I mean, there's that part of you that you know that you have to I'm going to word this weirdly, so bear with me. You
Hmm.
have to cater to your audience to a point, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that in this genre, period, the way to do that is not like the mainstream way to do that. Way to do that is not to like bubble wrap everything and like throw some, TNA on it and then like send it off to do whatever. I think the way to do that is to maintain, meet, and if not exceed your bar every time.
Yeah.
Like, the level that you are performing at and, like, always try to do better, and
Yeah.
that is actually doing the best by your audience
Mhm.
compared to trying to, for lack of a better way to put it, dumb it down for people.
Yeah.
Because, well, I wanna expand my audience and, people are like, "Well, you're too complicated." Well, I guess, then you're just not for me is
Hmm.
more of an approach than, "Okay, well, let me, stop using the entire dictionary and let me stop being clever and let me stop, being, lyrically on point and
Yeah.
let me just, like" you know
Yeah.
do you know what I'm
No, I
saying? Like
agree. I agree. Hip hop is, I believe, much more competitive in nature than a lot of other genres. So even the fans, they want to see you get better with every song. So you're really doing a favor not only to yourself but to the listeners when you keep raising the bar. So it's a good strategy to have.
well, yeah, and plus, there's nothing more fun than seeing somebody on stage.
Yeah,
Now, let me clarify. I've never seen you in person on stage, so I can't vouch for this.
right.
But when somebody's actually performing their lyrics on stage, I understand that sometimes there's the backtrack and sometimes it's not every single bar, every
Yeah.
single word. However, so I'm just putting that out there. However, doing your own lyrics, doing your own flows, doing your own music, it's always better when it hits hard. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Of course you know what I mean. Duh, you do this for a
yeah,
living, but
yeah. No, we had a few shows recently, and we had a lot of fun with that. I really just like to use the backtrack and like the supporting vocals when I'm really running out of breath, and that's it. It'll just be like a few words here and there. All of the rest of it is live, and the people love it. So we definitely had a lot of fun with that.
I'll tell you, I appreciate that personally because I've seen people that have been on stage that they basically lean on the backtrack the whole time,
Yeah,
those vocals, and
yeah,
they're like, if you hear "da-da-da-da-da," and they're like, yeah, "da-da-da-da-da-da-da,"
right,
there, "da-da-da-da-da-da," in the car, and you're like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
just
Just
to me, it's like I'm here to see you perform. I
mhm,
want to see you doing, and I don't care if it's rough. I don't care if it's not perfect. It's not in the it's not in the recording studio, right? So
yeah,
it's not going to be like mixed perfectly. Like you can't mix your vocals while you're on stage.
yeah.
However, if you're going to do it, I want to hear you do it.
Yeah, I
I don't
agree.
know
Yeah,
how else to put that. Like, I mean, singing, rapping, yodeling. I love going back to yodeling.
yeah,
If you're gonna do it, I want to see somebody actually do it because it's like it's like somebody who sings in a movie and you're like, "Oh, is that them? Is that them?" And they're like, "Well, no, it's not
yeah.
really. It's this other person." Well, I don't want
Yeah,
that. You know what
yeah.
I'm
You
saying?
want
It
the
seems
authenticity. It makes sense. Yeah.
hmm
Hmm.
that's the opportunity for someone to feel like they're right there with you, I guess.
Yeah,
And there's Wallflower. I always prefer an artist who tells us what they have to say their way than what they think we want them to say.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed with that. Yeah, agreed.
Now, I want. Do you have? Okay, so I was going to ask you this, and I was going to ask you this earlier, and I forgot. Do you have any albums out, like
Yeah.
physical copies?
No physical copies. No. Only like my older
Electronic.
album, Invisible. I have like copies that I can sign and give away. Like that. That's like kind of a just like an autograph copy of it. But they're not in stores. But my last album was in 2020. So or sorry, 2021. Yeah. Right now I'm focusing on singles, but I mean the amount of music I'm releasing is uh, more than an album a year because we're dropping a song every 2 weeks. So
Right.
there's a lot of music. Album is just as of right now not the way to go, but definitely releasing one song every 2 Fridays. So there's no getting bored.
Yeah, Wallflower. I love
Yeah.
signed physical copies. If you, that's what
Yeah.
these all are. These are
Yeah.
all autographs.
Awesome. Well, if you want to message me on Instagram, I knew someone put the link. I can work that out.
No, absolutely. I just had to ask. I always ask because I know that a lot of the community likes to have something in their hands. They like to be able to get something,
Yeah.
and physical copies are something that we all kind of lean towards.
Yeah.
I think it's me being, young in the 90s where you have your music and you flip through the book, the CD book, and you can take it with you and stuff. And now everything's streaming. I don't use Spotify.
Mm,
I
fair
know
enough.
I'm bad. I really should. At least put it on like and muted in the background somewhere so that people can get some spins.
There you go. Yeah.
But I don't
Oh,
use it. I put it in the car. I have it on a USB stick. I rip them onto a USB drive, stuff like that.
yeah.
So for me, it's one of those things like if Spotify dies tomorrow, I have my music.
Yeah.
It's all right here because these
Yeah.
are all actual copies, so I can like literally pull the CDs out and rip them if I want to.
Right. Right. Right.
So, but I always ask because I know that a lot of people are interested. Um,
Yeah. I do have. I do definitely have some copies.
no, that's awesome, and I know that I've actually was trolling your site earlier, poking around, looking at
Mm,
stuff, like just being
yeah.
like, hmm.
Yeah.
And there's another person on that label, right? There's one other person.
There is. Yes. Yes. Her
Uh-huh.
name is Keely. She's more of a pop. Uh, yeah, pop singer, not a rapper.
No, I just thought it was interesting because like I said, I was trolling the website. I was like, I wonder who these people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, well, no, that makes sense because I knew you were starting to put out music like every 2 weeks. I knew that you were putting
Yeah.
out a lot of content, which I think is amazing. Do you
Mhm.
ever feel like you need like something, a track that you put out to have more time before you put something else out? Do you ever like stop and go, maybe I should delay this next one for 2 more weeks? Like if something's like gaining some traction.
I'm very strict on the bi-weekly releases because I promised everyone I was going to drop one every 2 weeks. So
I gotcha.
for the year, so I'm definitely that's not. Hopefully, probably we'll see what happens, but for now, that's the plan. Um, I do sometimes like maybe I was planning to drop this one, but then I thought of a crazy content or TikTok idea, something like that, that will take time to record, and I want to drop it when the song drops. So in that case, I'll replace that track with another one, drop the other one a little later, or maybe I'm waiting for a feature or collab and it's taking longer than expected. We can always move things around, but usually usually it is one bi-weekly, no exception.
Well, that's the thing is if when you're ahead of the game and you've got it planned out and you're
Yeah,
you're making moves, but they are planned along a trajectory that you have made for yourself,
yeah,
then it's a lot easier because it takes a little bit of the last minute winging it out of it, right? Because you
yeah,
already know what you're gonna do. You already
yeah,
have some tracks ready to go. If something else comes up and you're like, you know what, this probably needs to go now and not later, then you have the flexibility. It's your stuff, right? So you
yes.
can change it up, but you still at least have that guideline that you've set for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's always good to try to think ahead and have a plan. Yeah, one every 2 weeks is definitely a lot. Sometimes it's hard to keep up even with the content and everything, but we do our best.
Wildflower says, just first, let's have a link tree. I'm building a forest.
Mhm. Yeah, uh, yeah, I do it on my profile. I think all the links are.
I'm gonna see if I can be sneaky and look it up real quick while I'm.
Yeah, I mean I could probably do it too. It's
I mean, if anything crashes, will somebody tell me? That'd be great because I'm not looking at the screen right now.
Mhm.
I'm looking at a different screen. Oh, you're at the top of the list. There we go.
Got it.
Uh, I'm looking. Yep.
I'm on here. I can literally message you right now. Can I
Oh,
message you?
yeah, yeah. Please do. And
Where
then
do I
I'm gonna
private chat?
pop.
Is it private chat? No. Where do I?
Um, yeah, that's fine. Anywhere's fine, really.
Okay, there it is.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, hold on. Jess, I'm sending this to you, sweetheart.
I
Shout
appreciate it.
out to Jess, my mod. Love her to pieces. There it is. Okay. So she should get that in a second. It's in the mod chat now, Jess. I'm sure that there's a delay, so she's probably like already got it and is posting it while I'm sitting there like, you can find it. It's okay. I love that about being live. It's like you say something and then you start responding and then people are talking about something from like 10 seconds ago and it's
Yeah, a little bit of a lag. Yeah.
always. I mean, I think they do it on purpose. I haven't figured
Mhm.
out what the purpose is. That's the only thing I like about Twitch a little bit more is
Yeah,
that Twitch it's almost exactly on time. Like
yeah,
you don't have that there's not as much of a delay.
right.
YouTube is notorious for it, especially when you go through any other platform, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
but yeah, I mean things I don't know. There it is. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I need to I'm gonna pin that. I gotta jump in on my phone. This is how it is, y'all. That's how it happens. We do this. We don't do any of that behind the. Yeah, we do it all right in the moment. I'm gonna pin there. I pinned it to the chat, so if anybody wants to check out his stuff, hey Truth, what's up? But yeah, I think it's awesome that you're releasing content, and I understand the strategy behind not releasing albums and releasing the singles instead. I get that. I mean, people do all different types of strategies, and I think that one is solid, especially with the amount of content that you have.
Yep.
Do you have any really, really cool collabs coming up?
Collabs?
Mm-hmm. Or
Um,
features or whatever, I mean, however you want to put them.
yeah, I have features. My next drop is a feature with I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a artist from the U.S. called Lilo Key. Um,
It
who's
sounds familiar, but I can't place it at the top of my head, but it sounds familiar.
yeah, no, he's really talented, really good. Collabing also with another artist from the US. His name is Young Crusher. He's more melodic, and that song will also probably have another artist from Calgary. I'm not really looking for huge names anymore. I'm more focused on who I really think is a good fit for the song, and who really wants to actually be a part of the song and the collaboration and the content and all that process, rather
Right.
than get a verse and then not have that collaboration go on once the song drops. So there's no huge names or anything crazy, but I feel like the songs are better than ever. It's a perfect fit for all the artists that are on it, and everyone's doing their part to create the content, help with the videos, do some really, really creative stuff for TikTok, Reels, all that. Which unfortunately, nowadays is probably more important than the song itself. So so it
I
is what
know.
it
I'm not thrilled with that, by the way, because I don't do TikTok.
is. Right?
I don't even have it downloaded. I don't look at it. I don't use it, and everybody kind of knows that. Eventually, I might have to do that.
Yeah,
I don't really want to. But the
yeah,
thing is that okay, in my opinion, I don't know because I've never worked with like huge name. Okay, well, I've never collaborated with a huge name
right,
artist, right?
right.
But to me, it seems like they're like, yeah, yeah, here for it, yeah, yeah, and then they give you the verse and they go, and
Yeah, well,
you're out.
that's exactly what happens most of the time. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, in all honesty, it's supposed to be about the music, and it's supposed to be, for example, if you have people like when you would have, back in the 90s, you'd have some of the rappers that would collab together and they would show up on a song together and it was just like it made sense.
hmm,
Or they would collab or they would come together to try and dispel some of the negativity that was going on. Like there were reasons for it. Like they resonated with it. They resonated with the lyrics. They resonated with the message, whatever the case may be. I
yeah,
mean, my God, one of the biggest collabs of all time was on MTV Awards or something when they did for oh, was it Lil Kim, Puff Daddy, freaking you know the song I'm talking about, Every Breath I Take, or
yeah,
when
yeah,
they did
yeah.
that huge
For,
one.
for
It's
Big, for Big.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. Like that was the whole thing. Is that is one of the biggest things. Is that it's supposed to matter. And I
yeah.
understand that getting someone really awesome on, but is it worth getting like a here you go, you know?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm really working with people that I'm only doing co-primary releases, so it drops on everyone's platform. There's no featuring anymore. Um,
Gotcha.
it's everyone's song. Everyone has their own incentive to promote it, and it's everything is free. It's just artists respecting other artists and doing it. I'm sure I would have a chance to work with bigger names. It's just not looking um, for that now, unless it happens super organically, which obviously is rare. But yeah,
No, but
that's the reason.
that makes sense. I mean, it
Yeah,
really does. Like, I mean, if obviously if someone approached you and was like, "Hey, I really like what you're doing, and I'd love to put something
yeah,
together with you," I'm sure you wouldn't be like, "You know what? You're too big. I don't like that."
yeah, no,
Like,
definitely
you're
not.
not
Yeah,
gonna be like,
no, if it's organic, I'll definitely jump on that opportunity for sure.
right, but you're not like sitting there like with a bunch of names and like throwing darts and hoping that somebody picks it up, right? Like,
No. Yeah,
let me try and
we're
get anybody. I don't care who they are.
yeah,
Let's get somebody on this track, you know?
yeah, yeah. I think we're at a point where I'm more concerned with the quality of the song and like getting the right fit and people that really believe in the project itself rather than just a name. So yeah,
No, I get that, and I actually respect that quite a bit. I mean, it's pretty rare,
yeah,
you know? And I know that there's torn thoughts or torn opinions on whether, when people pay for features and stuff. Because I mean, of course, a lot of times people aren't gonna go away not compensated in some way,
yeah,
shape, or form. I get that it's a business. I get that it's their income. I understand that. I get that you're paying for the talent. I get all of that. However, there's just something so much better about people that come together without money being in the middle of it.
yeah. I mean, it is.
It's a different vibe. It hits different.
Yeah, yeah, it's more organic, as I said. It's just it really shows that the song is the main focus. Um, Again, yeah, a lot of artists they charge. It's not a bad thing, as you said. It's how the business goes. And if they charge and they truly, genuinely care about the music and promote it the way they should, then that's no problem. It's just I think every upcoming artist had experiences paying other artists that um, rather might have some insane delays giving you the verse or uh, give it to you and then disappear. Don't post it, don't share it, and that's frustrating. So I just recommend focusing on your music, doing whatever feels right with the song itself, and then everything else will come.
I mean, I would think that it would just mean more
Yeah,
if somebody wasn't like, "Oh, crap, I got 6 of these to do. Here you
yeah, yeah,
go, here you go, here you go," and then they just, fuck right off.
yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
can imagine that that would mean more if they're like, "Man, I like this. I really wanna write something good. I think this could be something really good." I
Yeah,
just think that I mean, I think that the bigger names are capable of doing that. They're absolutely, and don't get me
yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that I respect the way that you're approaching it because you're right.
yeah.
You
The,
know?
the one artist that did that very genuinely was Crooked King Crooked. So he's one that I always will have the most respect for. I mean, he's top 5 rapper for me anyways, but even the fact that he did collab with me for pretty much for free, to be honest. It was literally, maybe I paid for the recording session. That's pretty much it. And this was 2 or 3 years ago, so I was not even as relevant. And he did it because he liked the song. He wanted to push me as an artist, and it really helped. So that will, when they do that, it goes a very long way. And I'm sure some of
Yeah.
them do want to do that. Maybe they don't have the time. Maybe their management or their label doesn't allow them to. There's so many factors, uh, that, I don't blame the artists individually or anything like that. It's just how the industry is.
Well, no, and I completely understand that, and like I'm saying, one of the big things that I wanna make very, very clear is that there kinda sorta is no wrong answer unless somebody's a complete douche. Other than that,
Yeah,
there's no wrong answer because
exactly.
let's be brutally honest, this is a business. It's your livelihood, right? You This is your career. So, it's not something to trifle with, and it's other people's careers and their livelihood as well. And
Mm,
so, from a business perspective, what works for them, that might be like, "Hey, you've got to complete at least 6 features every 6 months," or something, you don't ever
yeah,
know, whether it's as a management company, whether it's their choice, whatever.
yeah,
You just never know, and so it doesn't make what they're doing wrong if they're not screwing anybody over, right?
yeah,
It's just there is
exactly.
really no wrong answer. It's just really interesting because I've seen a lot, and I talked to a lot of people where mutual respect is huge. It means everything. Your reputation means everything
Mhm.
because you can't work with somebody who's just basically blown you off and like, been a jerk about something, delayed the release for however long, or wouldn't even respond to you afterward, the
Right,
whole 9 yards.
right.
And you're gonna be like, yeah. And then
Yeah,
if someone is like, "Hey, well, I think I might have a chance to work with so and so," and you're like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, maybe their experience will be different, but do you think it will? Word of mouth is everything.
yeah.
Reputation is everything.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, with 80,000 million trillion songs and people that people could pay attention to,
Yeah,
you're being respected and genuine, I think is a key
it goes
factor.
a long way. Yeah,
It is for me. I know that. Like, I will not have anybody on here that I don't respect or that isn't hustling for themselves 10, 50, 100 times more than I could ever hustle for them.
yeah,
Because, I mean, I demand, like, the community, whether no matter who's here now or in the future, go check them out, go listen to their stuff. I post it, I follow you guys, everybody,
yeah,
repost your stuff when you release stuff. And, people do pay attention to a point. I put it on reaction channels, I request it all the time,
yeah,
I talk to my friends, my fellow content creators, like, I push everybody that I respect,
yeah,
and it's not a huge hustle, but, it's my time, it's my effort. If
yeah, for
someone
sure.
wants I've had people that drop up in my DMs and they wanna be on, and they're like, "Well, we really need someone to push for us." I'm like, "Well, you're not paying me, so I'm not doing that,
Yeah,
and I don't owe you." And they're like, "Well, if you need another person, I guess I could find time." I'm like, "Well, I think I'm okay."
yeah, yeah.
You
No,
know?
it has to be organic. Respect
Right.
really goes a long way. Yeah, for sure. So I'm sorry. Do you mind if I go grab some water? I'll be back. My mouth is getting a little a little dry. I'll be
No,
right back.
that's
Is
fine,
that
go
okay?
ahead.
Thank you so much. I'll be right back.
I wanna pop his picture off. Wow, that sounded weird. By the way, that's a perfect opportunity. I'm going to say shout out to everybody that is in the chat. I see you guys, and I'm actually going to shout you out because I see Truth, and I just saw Blind Sight pop up. Jess, my mod, love you, sweetheart. Straight White Male's in here. Wallflower. I know I've seen a lot of people. I have to scroll, y'all. Ben Texo. I know Champagne Rain's here. I saw her earlier. I just appreciate all of you guys coming through and hanging out. I've seen some of his fans here. There's Annette. I see you. 15th Bend was here. He can't type because he's driving. Stacy has been in here. Casey, Cat, the other cat. There's Marino. I'm not scrolling anymore because, yeah, you know. No, but seriously, guys, I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us and listening to what we're talking about. I love talking to people. That's one of my favorite things to do is to learn all about what makes people tick and what they're doing. I'm just so inspired by you guys, by artists. And oh, okay. Truth is there with John and Melissa. I know I'm saying it wrong. They are actually Truth. He runs the channel Beats Bars and Delivery. He's a reactor. He's also an artist himself. And some of his community, they met up and they're actually hanging out with him in person right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're all in the chat. So that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I mean, that's the whole point, right? Is to like make those connections with people.
Yeah.
Because, if you make a personal human connection with somebody, with one of your fans, whether you ever get an opportunity to talk to them or not, you're more likely to keep a fan for life.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I noticed even last time I was on here, it was a great community, super supportive. So that's why I had no problem coming back. Always a pleasure. So
no, I really appreciate it. I mean, because you're doing so many things. I mean, like I said, you've said it yourself. You're releasing music every 2 weeks. You've got a solid plan as to how you're approaching all of, any time that you're working with anyone else.
Yeah.
Your lyricism's on point. You're like the only one that's rapping in all these different languages. And, I just see your fan base growing and growing and growing and growing. Your audience is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say anything more than, honestly, congrats. I'm like, for what it's worth, I'm super proud of you. I think it's awesome. Like, I love seeing people succeed. It means everything.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, but are you planning on doing any more like performances? Do you do them as they come or do you like have them planned out ahead of time?
We have a few planned out now ahead of time for the summer. So we have a Canada Day performance here in July, a couple of other festivals here locally. It's not priority right now with, as you said, with all the work that goes into dropping a song every 2 weeks and all the content, that is definitely priority. I'm also not trying to like perform every week in the same city. I feel like that would just get boring for everyone. So we're only doing like the bigger shows when they come, once every few months, something like that, so that it's still exciting. And we're about in Canada. I'm in Calgary, Alberta.
We have a lot of Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny because I never knew how much talent was in Canada. Yeah. I mean, call me completely oblivious, but in all honesty, there's a lot of they've become some of my closest friends, people that are artists or bands or whatever in Canada. And I'm like, I just had no idea there was all that talent. I knew that they filmed all the shows in Canada.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of artists, a lot of talented people here for sure.
And I think it's kind of ignorant of me to not know that, but until you break the ignorance,
Yeah.
Like until you don't know. But I know, like, there's you. We've got like Rachel, obviously Hangover Gangs from there. We've got As the Structure Fails, super close friends of mine. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And everybody's like, oh, we're playing all these shows. I'm like, yay! And then I'm like, in Canada. Oh
yeah. Yeah. No, there's
because I'm like way down in Texas.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
At least I'm not commuting, right?
Yeah.
My throat got dry too. I don't know why. You
Yeah,
manifested it onto me.
talking does that.
Mm. Well, actually, I usually go for like 2 to 3 podcasts a week, and I've been kinda slowing down a little bit.
Mm.
We have a rap competition that I'm trying to plan.
Oh,
Just FYI for the third one, we've done 2 so far. Um, I'm just saying, like, so I'm kinda slowing it down a little bit, spacing things out a little bit more. And apparently, I'm not allowed to talk anymore. Hold on.
nice.
As I die on camera, go viral. Everyone writes a song about me. I'm immortalized. That's how I end. No, I'm just kidding. I really appreciate you being here because the thing is like last time you gave me an opportunity. When I didn't have, I mean, I don't even, my subs grow organically. Like people come in for the artists that they want, and if they want to subscribe, they do. If they don't, I'm not going to hate them for it. I'm not mad about it. I want people that actually want to stay for my content,
Right.
right? I don't need, if they're just here for you, that's fine. And I'm glad that they're here. They don't have to stay, right? And I'm not gonna be
Mhm,
mad at them.
mhm,
But I had like under 200, I'm sure, when you were on last time. It
mhm.
was pure audio.
Yeah,
There was just these like ratchet pictures.
yeah,
I tried, man. I tried. But
yeah,
I was so excited to be like, oh, see, it's different. It's a little bit different when you
yeah,
get to actually see the person, and we didn't get the opportunity to do that last time. And I felt bad because I'm like, man, I knew I'm not doing this quite right, but I had to learn, you learn by
yeah.
doing and grow and figure
Sure.
out how you want to do it and stuff. And that's why I really wanted to bring you back on because I know you've been making moves and I've been making moves too. So
There you go.
that
I
was perfect.
appreciate it.
If you
Yeah.
ever come to Texas, I'm there. Like I mean that. I'll be there. Well, I mean, unless you're like in like the other side of Texas, because that's like 12 hours away.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully you'll get an opportunity to like go on a tour here in the United States. That
That's
would
the
be
plan.
really
Yeah,
cool.
hopefully in the future that will happen. Yeah, for sure.
But out of curiosity, and this is just, I mean, there's no wrong answer. Would you, if you had an opportunity to either tour in the United States or go into Europe, which would you choose?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's tough. I definitely want to do both, so I don't know which one I would prioritize. I feel like I have a big large audience in both.
Right.
Um Europe, obviously, it's more you touch on more countries as you're performing, so that's cool because they're all close together. But the U.S. is also the largest music market that you want to break through. So I don't know. I hope I can do both so that I don't have to pick
Do all the things.
or do everything.
Do all of them.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just curious because I know you said one of your goals is to get over to Europe and one of your goals is to be able to go out and perform for those audiences that you have over
yeah,
there. And
yeah,
I was just curious because I mean, it's daunting. The United States is a big place and there's all these different dates and tour places and all these places you can go. You can go on the East Coast, the West Coast, you can go in the straight up the middle. But with Europe, I mean, okay, so my answer, because everybody asked me, my answer would be Europe because then I would be like, "Ooh, I went to Spain. Ooh, I went to Italy."
yeah.
Because like two birds, one stone. But you've been to most of these places, so
I've
it's
been.
kind of not the same.
I saw all of Europe pretty much. There's not a lot of countries in Europe I haven't seen, so that part is fine. It's just a matter of the U.S. is a huge market, and like it is as big as Europe. So I don't know which one is worth more for an artist, but I would like to do both, and I really hope I can do both in the future.
World tour.
Yeah, that would be
That's the
crazy.
answer. World tour.
That would be crazy. I feel
It
like the U.S. tour will happen first.
probably.
Just because I'm here in Canada and it's close and it's a big market and the people I'm working with are from the U.S. and the contacts I have, so I feel like that's more realistic.
Champagne Rain says, or Indiana. Son's been a Versus fan for a couple years.
Oh, that's awesome.
You'd be
That is great.
surprised. You'd be
That is
surprised because the thing is that like it's really interesting. Like the community that I have here, honestly,
yeah,
they are just so in tune with people. They pay attention.
yeah.
If they like you, they're gonna go follow all your stuff. They're gonna pay attention when you release things.
Please
They're gonna
do.
share your
Please
things.
do.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, I just think it's really cool.
No,
I
that's
mean,
awesome. Again, I noticed the community was really supportive, and I got uh, even some fans from back in the day that's still messaging me and everything. So it's great. And one thing about me is no matter what, I reply to every single message I get. No matter how long it takes, I really talk to everyone. So anyone that wants to reach out, ask for releases, anything like that, I'm always there engaging with people. So
oh, there you go. Post some links. I'll sub now. Cheers to that, man. That's awesome.
appreciate you. I
Yeah,
think we
there would.
still have the link tree. Oh, there you go. Someone just messaged. There you go. I appreciate everyone who's subbing and mainly checking out my music. I mean, as you said, I'm the same way. If they don't want to stay, if they don't want to sub, it's fine. What I care about is they listen to 3 or 4 songs and then they can make their mind up. If it's not for you, it's not for you. I really don't I'm not going to force people to listen to my music, but as long as you give it a shot. Um, and I also think my music has, the catalog is big enough that there's a song for everyone. So hopefully you find that one song and you love it. And yeah,
Well, I think that anybody that's a fan of hip hop is going to love your music. They're
yeah,
going to
appreciate
appreciate it. No matter what, they're going to respect it and appreciate it. Now,
it.
if they are like, "Oh my god, you just hit my top 10 now." That's
Yeah,
amazing. But
yeah,
I'm saying no matter how anybody that appreciates hip hop is going to appreciate and respect your music
I appreciate
because you have the talent, you know what you're doing, you've got the lyricism, you've got the flows, you're quirky enough, like the way
it.
you deliver stuff,
Mm.
so you change it up. You don't do everything like, "Meh, meh, meh, meh," you know.
Mm.
And I do. I tell people all the time, I'm like, "Hey, click on the link, go listen to their stuff, and if you like it,
Right.
then
Yeah,
follow. And if you see
exactly.
something that hits you different, share it."
Exactly.
So when you're
Exactly.
dropping every 2 weeks and someone goes, "Ooh, I like this one," I better be seeing it on y'all stories because most of the people are on my Instagram. So I'm watching y'all.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was really cool. Like in the beginning when you did respond to me, I was like, "Oh my god, I was so
Yeah.
excited."
Mhm.
I, I think you were the first person with a blue check mark that ever responded to me, and I like about died. 'Cause, I mean, I was, like, new to and I just got an Instagram, so I didn't
Yeah.
even know what it meant. I was like, "Does that mean that, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that you're, like, on TV or something?" Like, I didn't know what it meant.
Someone asked, "What's my YouTube name?" It's just verses, as you see here. I don't know if you see it on the bottom of my video, but VERSVS. Um, yeah, that's all. That's what it is on all the platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, my website, everything. YouTube. Yeah, there it
Oh,
goes.
there we go, Jess. Look at you. She's on it.
Extremely ready. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
And there's truth. He reacted to one of your songs. I don't know who would have put your song up there. I don't know who could have possibly done
I
that.
wonder which song it was. I do usually when I see a reaction, I always leave a
Comment?
comment or feedback for the reactor. There's a few, so maybe I missed this one. I don't know. Hopefully not, but I probably seen it. I try. I honestly have fun with the reactions.
No, they're a lot of fun. And that's the thing is that, there's 2 types of people. There's the people that love watching reactions, the people that are like, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta take someone?" Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's having that person, right? You a song that you really, really love. It's having that person live vicariously through them hearing it for the first time because you can't do that again. You've already heard it.
Mhm.
So them hearing it for the first time, you get to live through that. And if they can emote that properly without being too over the top or too crazy and
Yeah.
without being like the whole time, it's fun. That's what I think. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
by the way, at some point, and I'm going to do this before we end today because we've been on for about 50 minutes already. I was shocked. I looked up for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Um, because I know that we're all busy. I know that people it's Saturday, man. Like we all got
Yeah.
stuff to do. But I wanted to say something, and if you don't mind, I was going to put this out there, and I'm going to have Jess drop the link in a minute. Um, there's somebody else that I had interviewed. His name is John Widowmaker, one of his very, very close friends, like absolutely, like they were brothers for life type. Um, Unfortunately, he passed away, and they're
Mm.
doing a GoFundMe for his family, and they're actually doing a performance in Vegas tonight, at the dive bar to um, raise money for the family to help them out.
Yeah.
And it's also for suicide awareness, stuff like that. So I'm
Okay.
gonna have her post the link.
Yep.
And I just was gonna put that out there. I told him I don't think he knows that I'm doing that, but there it is.
No, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, you guys need help, reach out. Somebody's always there for you. If you don't get me, get somebody else, jump in the Discord, talk to someone there. There's always
Yep.
gonna be somebody there for you.
Yep.
Don't ever feel alone, because you're not, I promise you. There's like 1 billion people in the world, I promise you. You throw a stone, it's gonna hit somebody and they're gonna talk to you.
For sure.
But yeah, I appreciate that. I don't really want to like step on anybody's toes. I wanted to put that out there because it's happening tonight and I just found out about it. So man, I can't wait. I can't wait until like every time you put out a song and you put out like a reel, I always am like, my favorite so far, and I'm sure you can guess which one. My favorite so far are the ones where you dress up.
Yeah. Yeah, those ones are they're pretty entertaining. Yeah, that just with the song in 4 languages, it was like we were,
Get them out of here.
I was just thinking like there has to be a easy way to visualize this and have it be as entertaining as it is visually than just the concept of the 4 languages. And I was like, I'm just gonna pick the most ignorant stereotypes I can pick from these countries, which obviously can never be considered a lack of respect because I am from those countries. So
Right.
I'm making fun of myself, if anything. So yeah, those have been fun. Yeah, we'll definitely keep going with that concept. There's more multilingual songs dropping as well. More fun, engaging TikToks, reels. There's my next one that I'm posting as a reel on TikTok, hopefully tomorrow, is probably one of the most engaging ones ever. And that's for a song I did called Groundbreaking with Samad Savage.
I love him.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, that song is one of my favorite songs I dropped this year. Yeah.
No, I absolutely love his. Anytime that somebody says that they did something with Samad Savage, I'm like, ooh, ooh, it's gonna be good. Like I every single time. It's not
You
taking
should
away from
listen
the
to it
artist
if
that
you
he's
haven't
working
already.
with.
It's one of my favorite songs this year. It's called Groundbreaking, and I have 2 verses on it. He has the middle verse, and it was a banger. I absolutely love that song.
Is that one on YouTube? I didn't check.
No, I don't even. I mean, it might have been distributed by the distribution website on YouTube, but there's no music video for it or anything.
Oh no, I just meant the song. The reason I'm asking is because I can actually play it on here.
Yeah, I believe you can find it. Yeah, I just found it now. Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to listen to that?
Let's do it. Let's have the people listen to that.
Everybody okay with that? You guys want to listen to something? You don't have a choice. I'm asking just to be nice.
Someone said play something earlier, so I'm sure he'll be happy. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Should I remove my video while we play that?
You'll see. I promise it'll work.
Okay.
Like I said, I pay for this. It better work.
Constructive criticism, please, constructive criticism. If someone hates it, put it in the comments. I want to read every single feedback. So go crazy. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, tell me why, and I'll listen to the feedback.
What he said. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll show you what I do. I do this fun little thing. There it is.
Awesome.
Okay. So I'm going to play this, and I might have to... There might be an echo, so if there's an echo, then I'm just going to...
Yeah,
I'm going to mute myself as well, just in case. All right, we're going to play this. This one is by VERSVS. This is Groundbreaking with Samad Savage. Let's go.
Okay, you can hear it from the fans, I'm a crowd favorite. They just whisper to each other how in a beta earthquake flow. My music can shake a foundation. How they still hating, saying I'm not really groundbreaking. You can hear it from the fans, I'm a crowd favorite. They just whisper to each other how innovative. Earthquake flow, my music can shake a foundation. How they still hating, saying I'm not really groundbreaking. Everything I say is high, you are my flavor. Tell the haters they're indebted to my sound facing. Every comment you type is gonna make my house greater. Make them pay up just so I can make a down payment. I'm tired of your opinions about what you think of rap. Don't talk about it if you can't do it. What you think of that? Tired of this and that, of this girl and all the simple chats. Plays me like a violin, then asks me for no strings attached. Constantly live inside a mental brawl since I was a kid, but really I was no kid at all. If they come for me, then I'ma diss them all. Tell them like they're getting a divorce, you better not get the kid involved. I'm just living by the rule, you see the crown taken. I'm just working harder than them, know it sounds basic. Going to the same place, but I just outrace them. Canadian boy just running past them, they're like Wow Davies, phew, that's Alfonso. Do it for myself and for the fans also. Putting shit in your body, I can't sponsor. I'm just climbing up the hill, no drugs, that's no Lance Armstrong. You can hear it from the fans, I'm a crowd favorite. They just whisper to each other how innovative. Earthquake flow, my music can shake a foundation. How they still hating, saying I'm not really groundbreaking. Everything I say is high, you are my flavor. Tell the haters they're indebted to my sound facing. Every comment you type is gonna make my house greater. Make them pay up just so I can make a down payment.
How great is God for letting you hear some my flow? Beating up my demons, I'm teaching them taekwondo. How did he get famous? The ladies cry for. Wanna ride my wave, Detroit boats, they bob low. No pen and paper, I really do this with my eyes closed. You wouldn't even know the half if you was 5-0. As far as competition goes, they all can die slow. Everything these niggas drop is mid like there's no highs, lows. I know, I got about infinite ways to do this. Why we go so damn hard? It's only music. I treat that like a Nazi opinion, that sounds stupid. You should make like a Nike hater and don't do it to yourself. If we don't see eye to eye, you gotta die. Get with it or get out the way like you got a map to hide. They mad I got the mass appeal like a rap with knives, but I'ma do this till I'm on the wall vandalized.
You can hear it from the fans, I'm a crowd favorite. They just whisper to each other how innovative. Earthquake flow, my music can shake a foundation. How they still hating, saying I'm not really groundbreaking. Everything I say is high, you are my flavor. Tell the haters they're indebted to my sound facing. Every comment you type is gonna make my house greater. Make them pay up just so I can make a down payment. Dog, you begging for my spot, that's a Dalmatian. Said you headed to the top, give a shout later. I'll be going up a class while you downgraded. I'll be reaching to the sky while you cloud chasing. 5 years in the game, better listen boy. Trying to get in, enjoy. It's annoying, go to ring the bell, but I'm faced with some idiots. It's Hogwarts, I try to slither in, but it feels like I'm knocking on Peter Griffin door. But I stay confident, it's how I smash doors. Basically you gotta rock it if you wanna blast off. Up to you to build the road, pave the way. If you wanna leave, doing nothing concrete, it's your ass fault. Yeah, me it's 100 on the dashboard. Living with the music, what the fuck was I in class for? International flow, 20 different passports. Went from being bullied to the love, I just fast forward and
yeah.
Okay, so that beat was dirty. I mean, like, yeah.
That's awesome. People seem to have liked it. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, what's not to like? I mean, really. One of my favorite things is something that you do where you're just like, where you kind of, you go into that really fast, but you pop right back out of it.
Right.
Like you kind of tease it a little bit and then you jump back out. I love that.
I love accelerating like that. I don't necessarily want to do a whole fast part. That's reserved to like a couple of songs, where I just want to, go fast and that's it. But when it's something like this, I want to stay with a certain rhythm, but I don't mind accelerating in the middle just for fun.
No, and I get that. And the thing is that like when I first heard you like last year and stuff like that, there's some of the stuff that you did. There was a lot. You've gotten a lot more melodic with some of the way that you're singing, the way that you're doing the hooks and stuff. Like you said that you were purposefully doing that. I was going to tell you anyway that I've noticed that.
Yeah,
and not in a bad way. I've noticed that, and like in a kind of like a, if I don't want to listen to the lyrics, I can literally just kind of like vibe out.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like just the way that you're articulating it, the way that you're singing, the way that it sounds, it's all a vibe.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. It's both the lyricism and you got the vibe. So
yeah, thank you. I try to improve on that aspect, so I'm glad that people are
nailed it.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
I think I speak for everybody when I say that, to be completely honest. So, I mean, there you go, guys. If you hadn't heard him before, you've heard him now.
Mhm.
And he's obviously amazing. He's fire. And he's doing his own thing. He's marching the beat with his own drum. He's making his choices. He is not going down the road that everybody else is going down. He is not chasing for the biggest artist that he can possibly find. He is looking for people who organically fit with him. All the respect in the world. Like, I can't even.
Thank you.
All the respect in the world. I appreciate your talent. And yeah, I keep mentioning, oh, you know all these languages. And I get that that's a thing, but that's not the only thing. And that's not the main thing for me.
No, yeah. And
it's just a cool thing.
I'm trying to keep it as a cool thing I do every once in a while. I know that it goes crazy on TikTok. I mean, I think last time I talked to you, actually, I think I was just starting on TikTok, and now I'm at like 202,000 followers like today. So, because those videos, like, I know are tailored for TikTok. Like, when I record a song in multiple languages, I know that the concept itself is potentially viral. But I only do that, let's say, one song out of 10 or 15, because I don't want to be known just for that. Then it becomes like, oh, he's the language guy. But
then it's a shtick.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be known as, a good rapper that on top of that can rap in different languages when he wants to.
But just to make it absolutely clear for anybody that wasn't here in the very beginning, or the one who hasn't heard the last podcast, he's actually grown up and lived in all of these different countries. So it's not like he's like, well, I'm going to learn a couple lines in these languages and throw that in there and see if I can go viral. Like, it's organic. It's actually part of you and part of what, how you were raised and where you grew up and your history and your past. And, so it's completely a different feel than somebody who's like, because you're doing it because you have respect for those countries and you appreciate them and you're kind of bringing back some of, your past and putting it in there.
Correct. Yeah. That's true.
So just FYI, it is not a shtick. I don't think, and I understand what you're saying. You don't want it to become one because it could.
Right.
I just respect the hell out of it, and that's why I keep mentioning, because it's really cool.
Thank you.
It's just cool. It's like, I mean, if you had a handlebar mustache, I might be like, you're the mustache guy.
Yeah.
That's it. That you're done. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
Which you had in that one video.
I do as Mario. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I really appreciate you being here today. I mean, honestly, I appreciate everybody that's here in the chat. I mean, to come on a second time and just hang out with us and, catch us up on what you're doing and what's coming down the pike and all that. I mean, I definitely know that I'll be following what you're doing and sharing it in my Discord, sharing it on Instagram. If anybody follows me, you can live vicariously through me to watch him, but I'd prefer that they follow you. That way they can make all the comments.
I'll mention real quick, like, just because of timing, it's Saturday today, and a new song dropped literally last night. So anyone who wants to check that out, the song is called Simon Says, and it's very experimental for me. It has like a video game type beat, which was really fun to rap on. It was something completely new for me, completely new melodies, new style of lyricism I tried out. And then also that collaboration I mentioned earlier with Lilo Key, that song is called Stone Cold, and is dropping in 2 weeks. Because, as I said, there's one bi-weekly, but I feel like, the more we go through this bi-weekly thing, the better the songs get, because I'm trying to get progressively better. So yeah, anyone who wants to go Spotify, Apple Music, all those platforms, I know you said you don't use them. Maybe they do. I don't know. But
they do. They really do.
Go on there, check it out. We're growing a lot on those platforms as well. I actually just posted on whoever went to follow me on Instagram, they can probably see my last post. I just passed 1 million streams on a song. It's called I Don't Want to Be Friends. That's with Connor Price. I don't know if you know Connor Price.
I love Connor Price.
Absolutely huge.
I'm gunning for him soon, though. I'm gonna try and get him to talk to me.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
I know.
I could try to shoot him a text or something, but
what's the worst he can say? No or ignore me?
He just, he's a good guy, but I doubt that he has time right now
to it's fine.
Look at messages. But it's worth a shot, obviously. But he's a good guy, and he features on that song. He's not a primary artist. He features on that song, and it just passed 1 million streams today. So
he's nice. He's nice.
He's nice. Yeah, he's a great artist. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff. And I hope people like it. And it's always a pleasure to be here. We can, maybe down the road do a third time. I'm sure that there will always be updates and things to talk about.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you doing it this time too. And
Yeah.
Champagne Rain wants to know about merch. Where do they find your merch?
Yeah,
Is it
the merch is on the label website. I can message it here. It's called. I'll message it to you in private here. So it's called culinaryrecords.com, but it's culinary with a K.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, culinaryrecords.com. That is the label that has me and Keeley, the other artist you talked about earlier, and even another artist called the label founder actually makes music himself, and he goes by the Chef 2K. All of that merch for all three of us and all that is on that website.
No, that's awesome. At least the person that runs the label knows they're, as being an artist themselves, they probably have better insight than people who aren't. We'll just say who aren't. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Stick a pin in that. And I'm sorry, I actually I slept on your the song that you released yesterday.
Oh,
I had
good.
I had a concert to go to last night.
Well,
Didn't end up going. It was a whole thing. It was just a mess. So I kind of like been AFK today, just because I'm like sulking a little bit.
That's one thing about dropping bi-weekly. I know people sometimes just people have their lives. They're not going to stay in tune with every single song, but if you do, then great. And if they can go check it out, I'll definitely, if any one of these people in this great community message me, DM me, I'll respond right away. I'll try to show love in every way I can. It's been a pleasure. Again, I'm not opposed. Whenever you want to talk, reach out. I'll always reply. If you want to, as you said, Connor or any artist that I can help with as well, get in touch. Shoot me a message. I'll try to do that as well.
No, I appreciate it. I really do. I'm one of those people. I'm really weird. Like I kind of like do it on my own merit. Like for good, bad, or indifferent, because I'm a one-woman show. I've got my mod that helps me out, but aside from that, I do everything on my own. I schedule everything. I do all the networking conversations. So it's kind of, I'm proud of it, and I know I don't usually reach out to people to help me with that, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be there.
I really appreciate it though. I really do. Like I said, I know people are busy, and I know that you're busy, and I appreciate everybody that's here hanging with us and checking out your stuff. And I know you definitely gained some new people from what they're saying. I can see that you have. So I can't wait to see what you do next. I mean, it's all been fire so far. So
thank you so much.
And I'm gonna chop some of this up, and I'm gonna put it out there. A couple of the things, like when we're just talking and stuff like that. If you're cool with that,
amazing.
And just put it out there. I'll tag you
for sure.
Do all the tagging.
Perfect.
I'll try to get the one where somebody's like, cross-eyed with their face looking weird.
Yeah. There's always one of those.
Well, I'll make sure that I find it. That's my goal. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I appreciate you being here, everybody. Thank you for coming through. We're gonna get out of here and let you guys go back to your Saturday. Definitely check him out. If you want to shoot him a message, check out his music, share it, all of the above. Join the Discord. Love you guys. Make sure that you check out that GoFundMe if you get a second, if you have time. If you don't, it's not a big deal. Just thought I'd mention it. And remember, you're never alone. If you need somebody, my DMs are open.
Yes.
Love you guys. I'm out.
Thank you. Have a great day, people. Bye-bye.